Well, I'm really glad that you're here today on the Content Creation Made Easy podcast because I'm interviewing somebody who has been on quite a journey to figure out who the hell she wants to work with. And this journey has not been easy. It has not been fast. It has not been clear. And she has kept going. And you're going to love her. So I'm talking today to Allie Hill. Allie is a client of mine, and we've been working on her business. Allie is a life coach who now specializes in helping empty nest moms find the next version of themselves, live in the next chapter of themselves, create a happy nest versus an empty nest. But I want to talk to you today about her journey of finding her message, finding her exact right audience member, knowing what to say, because I'm not gonna be, she went from zero to vroom, and it took a little while for her to get some traction, but she's here today to share her story and her insights. And Allie, I want to say, I'm so excited to talk to you. I'm really proud of you. And thank you for joining us today.
Oh my gosh, Jen, thank you. It's my pleasure.
I'm really excited to hear you talk about your experience. So why don't you talk a little bit about how you got into life coaching and what made you step into this field from what you used to do?
Yeah, okay. So I was a journalist before, and I did that in LA for 15, 20 years. And I just couldn't really sustain the journalism schedule. So I decided to be a full-time mom. And maybe I did a few little articles here and there. So that was wonderful until my daughter was about to head to college. And I realized I'm going to need something. So I started with the first program with Martha Beck. And really, that program for me was just a lot of learning. It was a great insight. It was so wonderful to have a schedule, to need to show up and be in a classroom. And I just really liked the structure. But I never did anything with that certification. And then a couple of years went by, and I discovered the Life Coach School in Brook Castillo. And that spoke to me because it was much more mindset, more cognitive, lots of tips and tools, but really direct. And so I ended up doing her program. In fact, I started her program like right as my daughter went to college. So it was perfect. And then let's see. So I knew that I wanted to be a life coach. And I think around that time when I certified, Jen, is when maybe I started working with you, or a little bit after.
Mhm.
I had no idea about the business. I had no idea. I was one of those people who, once they became a coach, they thought all the people were just going to come and find me.
Right.
It was like, just tell people you're a life coach. Tell them you can help them, and they'll just line up and they'll be knocking at
Automatically
your door.
6 figures a year, just like that. Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a rude awakening. But you helped me so much, on my journey. I can remember one specific time. You'll probably remember the time, whether it was 6 months or 9 months ago, but you said to me, I know you're frustrated. I know that you're really close to wanting to quit, but just hang in there. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. Okay. I'll give it like maybe another week or another month or something. And lo and behold, it turned, and the tides turned. So if anyone is here, is listening to this and is in that spot, the only way to fail is to quit. Don't
Yeah,
quit.
I love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what was causing that frustration in that moment. Give us
Yes.
some background of who you thought you wanted to work with at the beginning and some of the things you were doing at the beginning to find that ideal audience member.
Oh my gosh, I was like throwing spaghetti on the wall. I guess I need to say that I'm an empty nest life coach now, but that's not what I started out as. I was the coach to all of my daughter's friends. So they just would call me, and you're the one who convinced me I should start charging them. So
Yeah.
finally I'm like, okay, I will charge you a little, like $20 for an hour and a half of my time. And that was great. And then their moms started calling me because I think that they could see that there was a real difference in their daughters, and they were getting a lot of benefits. So then all of a sudden I became the college mom coach. And still, but it wasn't really a fit. It wasn't one of those things where I knew what I was doing. It wasn't filling me up, I should say. But I was doing polls, I was doing this. And then I'm trying to think how naturally it came together. you probably have a better memory than I do on how I became the empty nest coach.
I want to I just want to insert something here.
Please.
You're forgetting some of the extra things you were doing with this. You wasn't just spaghetti, you were also throwing fettuccine and linguini
Yeah.
the wall too, because you
Oh
were
my
like doing
gosh.
workshops for middle school girls
Yeah.
and middle school moms. And then you just had gotten to this point where you loved working with these people. You saw that they really needed your help, and they really weren't willing to commit to do the work. And that
Yeah.
was very frustrating for you. And you were
Yeah.
like, I know they love me. I know they need me. I know I'm helpful, but A, they don't want to pay. And B, like they're not making their new next sessions. They're not showing up. They're not recommitting. And that was
Yeah.
really maddening for you because you knew you
So
had this special sauce and you were just kind of talking to an audience that was just a little bit off center from where you
yeah.
really thought you could get some traction.
No, it's so true. And I remember you explaining to me there are solution, what's the whole thing? There are
Oh, the
people who
solution ready people. Yeah.
are solution ready. And even though I knew I had the solution and I thought they were ready, they weren't ready. They just really they were what you called fans or ventures.
That's right. That's
And I was like, wow, how can you not want help? But really, so there was that section, and I was doing any and everything. And thank goodness for you to be able to like shine a light on this problem of going, okay, Allie, that is really, those aren't your people. Like the people who really want you are going to be coming after you and will be committed. And I'm trying, do you remember the exact moment when I shifted to empty nest life coaching? I mean, oh, I do. Here, okay. I was like, there was a moment. It was July. So it would have not even been a year ago. And I was at a retreat. I was actually meeting my cohort for the first time, and we were all talking about our niches. And I was saying that I knew that there were a lot of women in my neighborhood that needed help. Oh my gosh, I wonder if they're going to see this. Not you, and not you, and not you, but
not you, of course.
not
The ones who
you,
are listening, not you.
but the other one.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about it, and then I was saying, but you know what? They all need it. I know they need it. They don't
They
need
don't
it.
know they need it.
They don't know they need it, and they're not going to pay for it. But as soon as I got that kind of aha moment of who it was, I realized it's not the ladies in my neighborhood, it's all the other people. And then it was really an exercise of how to get out of my neighborhood, and that was a whole journey, which we can speak to too.
Yeah. So this is really good. So for the audience, anybody who's listening, what Allie's talking about here is your audience is on a journey. The people that you want to work with are on a journey. And some people are just not ready to admit they have a problem. Some people don't even know they have a problem. Some people don't see their problem. Like you can see it so clearly and you know you could help them. But if they're not ready and willing to admit that there's an issue and they're not searching or they're not curious about a solution for this thing, then you are going to spend as a content creator and as a person marketing your business, you're going to spend a lot of time throwing the spaghetti and the fettuccine and maybe some bow tie pasta also against the wall. And I think you just got to the point where you were like, it just hit you at the right moment where you're like, okay, who else is, if it's not these people and it's not those people, and it's not the other people, then who the hell is it? And that's when we got really laser focused. And then it all came to you really quickly and easily.
It did. And I think that's when we put out the poll. We put out the poll of like, okay, if you want to, what are you looking for? I kind of just did a calling all, I don't even know if this is the empty nest, calling all empty nesters, but something along those lines. And all of a sudden the stories came in and all the comments came in, and I'm like, wow, this is it. These are the people. They're apparently not in my neighborhood, but they're in the world. And then they all started privately in my DMs. It was a secret conversation.
Yeah.
Which was so interesting, because I remember I would be telling you, Jen, I'm so tired because I was up till midnight answering all my DMs, and it's great. And I love serving these people, but it'd be so nice if they would share it in the comments. Everybody else could know. And then that switched. It's like once somebody commented, the floodgates opened and everybody felt safe. So that was a great moment.
Yeah. So that's when you really started to learn your exact right audience number, but it was quite a journey for you. And it was not fast and it was not um, straightforward at all. So then they start DMing you. And what did you learn from them DMing you?
I learned that they were really desperate. Like they really, I think they were in the box of solution oriented, except for some weren't, because I remember saying, oh my gosh, there's this woman that DMs me every day. And she did for 3 or 4 months. And then finally, when I had a beautiful offer to present her, she was like, I'm fine. Thank
Yeah.
you. And then you reminded me that there are fans and there are, people who just want your content, but then there are people who really want your help. And once I kind of, that it was just the learning curve. Once I got over that and just really listened to what their words were, they were saying, I mean, you really taught me that. Pay attention to their words and mirror that back to them, in your message. I mean, now almost, I don't want to jinx myself, knock, 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 but like on a daily basis, I get someone who says, I don't know how you came to me in Instagram, but I was bawling all day yesterday and you're saying exactly what I needed to hear. I mean, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
Finally.
Finally.
Finally. So how would you describe who this person is? Because we've talked a lot about the process that you've gone through to come to understand who your audience is, but like people still who are listening still don't know like actually who you help. So who is it that you help?
I know. And I feel like everybody knows because
That's what you talk about all the time.
they're all living with me. No, so this is a person, the empty nester whose child is either about to go to college, has gone, is at college, has been out of college. Basically, they're women moms who have adult children out of the house and they're in transition. A lot of them have been full-time moms and they have devoted themselves 24 hours to the care and love and support of their family and their kids. And then I have a ton actually of single moms who are working moms who've been working all the way through, but they don't have the partner. And, the partner can be a great thing when you're an empty nester, or it can be a whole nother complication. So those are my women, the women whose role has changed dramatically. And even if they were trying to prepare for it, it's a bit of a shock and a transition. And, the phrase like, now what? That's just what they all have in common.
Yeah. So these are people who are either gearing up to be empty nesters or are empty nesters and they're struggling with it. And because I love talking so much about what their words are they willing to admit that this is a struggle for them? How did they describe the pain or the problems that they're having?
Yeah, their word is struggle.
Okay.
Some say grieving. A lot say sad, heavy, empty, purposeless, not feeling that they have a purpose, loss of identity. There are all these very heavy, heavy words. I'm trying to think. I mean, that sort of encapsulates most of them. Yeah.
What I love about you're so wonderful to coach, Allie, because you're so coachable in that many life coaches come to work with somebody on their marketing and they use words like, I want to help my people be more empowered. I want to help women in transition. I want to help them step into their best self. But those are not words that people are Googling to solve their problem, right? So you very quickly embraced, okay, I have to let go of that life coach jargon and really step into speaking their language. And it has completely worked in your favor, right?
It does. I mean, the minute I got clear on who they are and started using their words, and they could see that I understood them by using their words. And really, it's not like a fake using their words, like really I am embracing their words, holding them, thinking about it, and then saying back to you. It's really me saying, I see you, I hear you, I get you, and I've got you. Like, let's do this. and they're coming.
Yeah, well, I call that the marketing mirror. A lot of people who come to me for content creation feel like, oh, like I don't want to talk about their problem. I don't want to talk about their pain. But sometimes you're naming it for the person. You're actually doing them a favor by giving them the words and mirroring what it's not manipulative. Like you said, it's not yucky. It's like
Yeah.
sometimes, Allie, you're the only person who hears them or sees them. Like, especially your people, they haven't really been seen in a long time, right?
Right. No, absolutely. I just got off the call with a client today who said, I've got a great marriage. My husband is amazing. I've got great friends, but nobody gets it. Nobody gets what I'm going through. Like, I'm a happy go lucky, like person. This has thrown me for a loop. And this woman was telling me, she's like, I've become a real estate agent. I'm looking into becoming a life coach. I've got a store. She goes, and it's not helping. And I said, well, we might want to try processing feelings. And she's like,
All right.
yeah.
All right. God damn it.
And
So,
I do. But I also had to say, listen, I'm a life coach and I need my coach to say, by the way, let's do that feeling work.
um, so first of all, I want to congratulate you on all the work that you've done and how clear you've gotten. And now we're seeing a lot of traction happening. And so I would love to talk about the growth and the wins that you've specifically seen once you got your ideal, perfect, exact right audience member pat down.
Yeah. Well, for one, I got to start charging a little money. So I stopped coaching entirely for free. And then I think what's happened is the more I've listened to people, the more I've been able to tailor programs for them. So like right now, I've got a Your Turn program. It's just a 3-month coaching program. And in that, we discuss all the things that they're doing, I think, but we have a goal in mind. That one's really sort of goal oriented. I have the Happy Nest membership program, which is just launching this week. And that's really these women have said they want community. They want to be with other women who are going through their exact same journey, even if it looks differently. So that's been really great to offer that to them. And then I just have some one-on-one coaching. So I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, well, first, so you've been able to make some more money, tailor your offers. The beautiful thing about being able to tailor your offers is you're not offering a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this, which a lot of people fall into that thing because they're like, maybe I just need more offers. And that's almost never the solution. When you have more offers, that means you just need to do more marketing and people get confused. So
Right.
yes, you're very tailored on that. The other thing I'd love for you to talk about is your Instagram growth. It has been from 0 to very, very impressive. What are you up to now?
Like 6,000 something.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. When you and I started, I was at 200. If even.
And that was a lot of like personal friends. Yeah.
That was all friends and family, which quickly dropped off with they're not empty nesters because I'm very, very directed on the empty nest message. So yes, you got to see my trip to LA last week, but by and large, that's it.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you want me to speak to how I did it? Because I don't I don't know if this is the scientific process or not, Jen, but
it worked for you.
This is what worked for me. So first of all, I actually invested in somebody who helps me with Instagram. So I write all the content. I hire her to do the Canva and all of that because I was spending hours and hours and hours on Canva. It's just something where I love colors, but it was such a waste of time. I'm much better writing, giving it to her. She can slap it on and boom, done. That was a big one. Also, just getting kind of clear on my essence and my like colors and all of that. I think it's good to be consistent in your aesthetic. So there's that. Definitely the mirroring back of people, of what my clients and what the people in the community were saying they needed help on. I would address that specifically in my messages. And then my secret sauce formula for gaining, I guess, besides those ways, for gaining followers is when I would have a post that would have high engagement organically. I would say I would have 3 to 5 comments, I'd have 100, 200 likes, I would boost it. And what that means is I would push, boost, and I'd say for 5 days, $5 a day. That got me what I would say out of the neighborhood, because I could tailor it to empty nest moms, 40 to 60. In the US, I did do that accidental thing where I hit Africa the first time. That didn't work as well, but I do have a great client from Panama. But that just got me out of the neighborhood. And once that happened, I think, so yeah, so from September, I'd say September to now, how you're good at math, 9 months or whatever, I think, yeah, 200 to 6,500. Yeah.
Incredible. And you not only show up regularly, you create content regularly, but one of the things I really like is your message is so consistent. It's not like you have to recreate the wheel. And I really want people listening to remember, you don't have to always be baking the bread from scratch. You can go and reuse the messaging, tweak it a little bit, make it look a little bit different, but your people are just still really drawn to a very similar message that you've had since you nailed down this ideal audience member.
Yes, no, and you're speaking to a really important part or component, because I know I've said to you, Jen, I'm so bored of my message. Don't you think people are tired of me yet? I say the same thing over and over again, and you always remind me that it's not, just because I'm putting it out there doesn't mean somebody saw it. And how many times have I missed people's feeds? And yeah, so I tweak it a little bit. They still want to be seen and heard. You're so right. And also you write one thing, you do a story on one thing, you blog on one thing, like you can repurpose it all over the place.
Yeah, I always say to my clients, you're going to get bored of your content way before your audience will. Like, you have to manage your mindset, because entrepreneurs, like, they're brilliant, they're fast, they're constantly like thinking like,
Yeah.
and so they're on to like the next thing. And I feel like with you, if we didn't have like a strong anchor, you'd be like, okay, I'm done with empty nest sounds. What's my next thing? Because you're so highly creative. And it's the staying in this lane. Now that we've got some traction, we're staying in the lane, and you've launched your membership. You had 67 people on your wait list for your membership. You've got private clients paying you that you never had for. Like, there's so many big wins around this. Now we're just going to keep the machine humming.
And you just have to keep reminding me. They were nice, but I'm going over here now. Right.
I know. We're also guilty of that. So I would love to hear, what's your favorite part of your messaging, either because it resonates with your audience or because it really means a lot to you. What's your favorite thing to talk about to your empty nest moms?
Well, I think what's most important to them is that I recognize the pain points and I speak to them. So I think it's 50-50. I really like shining that light and letting them know that they're not alone, and that I see them, I hear them. It really is a thing. Empty nesting really is it's a hard transition. Yeah. But I really love the other part. I really love letting them know that there's hope, that there's possibility, that, listen, it doesn't have to be hard. Definitely feel your feelings, but listen, we can get to the other side, and I can show you how.
And you're living proof of that. I think that's an important point, because a lot of people, they either only want to talk about the possibility and never address the pain points, or they kind of get stuck in only talking about the pain points. And you do a really beautiful job of balancing both. I just want to honor that with you. What advice would you give to somebody who's really struggling to nail down their messaging or find their just right audience member?
Hire Jen Liddy. That's what. First and foremost.
Say that.
No, of course, but I would say that. If anybody asked me, that is what I would say. No, I don't know. I think I came to you as such a hot mess. I was like, 1,000 ideas. But I would say get help. Listen, don't be in a box. It's, as a writer, first and foremost, sitting and looking at the empty page is really hard. It's so much easier if you have prompts. It's easier if you have somebody who is someone to bounce ideas off, to mirror things with. Definitely get some help, and get, things that you said to me, get specific. When you think you've gotten specific, get more. Keep going down, 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 almost to the point where, I help 37-year-old empty nest moms who have 2 boys and 1 daughter at UCLA. Like maybe not, almost tone it down, because those people, it feels like you're confining yourself, but what it really is you are getting your absolutely ideal client, both for them and for you. And then you don't have to worry about all the maybes and yeah, I might hire you. Kind of thing.
And when you start to know, like I'm at the point where Allie and I are at the point where when we work together, she'll be talking to me and I'm writing down what she's saying. And I know what she's going to say because she said it so much. Like her message is so consistent that I'll be writing and she's like, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And like she just knows her message so deeply. And I want that for everybody. Because once you get it, it feels like you don't feel like burning your business down anymore or walking away from it or.
No, it's exciting. I mean, and there's still ups and downs, but you've got the foundation and like having done, a couple of things and this works and this doesn't, you really taught me it's just data. It's just great information. Keep going. I mean, and now I'm, teaching this to my daughter who's looking for a job, applying all over the place. Just keep going. I think that's the biggest thing.
Thank you for sharing your insights. We would love to hear where people can connect with you. I know we're going to talk about your Instagram and also let's talk about your membership and how people can at least get into your world, because I know you've got a great download for people too.
Oh yeah. Okay. So many things. So everything, all my handles are the same, Allie Hill Coaching. Mm-hmm. So if you type that in, you will go to my website or it'll be on my link tree. From there, it will show you all my offers. The exciting one right now is the Happy Nest program, because that's the way I can connect with you and you can connect to others. There's a private Facebook group and there's my Your Turn 3-month membership, which I've got a waiting list for that right now because we're all full through May. And then I just do some one-on-one single coaching. If you just need something and in the moment, and it's just like a 911, is it 911? 411?
Yep, 911.
You can tell I never dial the phone.
Numbers are not your thing.
Information and emergency, call me.
You can dial 411 or 911. Allie will answer.
It's possible. So those are all the things. Yeah, Allie Hill Coaching is pretty much it.
Great. Allie, thank you for sharing your journey with us, because I'm not only so proud of you, I'm really excited for other people to hear that it's possible that you can feel like you're treading water for a long time in the deep end of the pool and you just want to, give up and climb on the floaty. But now you're like, now you're like swimming laps and you're so strong in your messaging. And I'm just so excited for you. Thank you so much.
And you worked in my water analogy. That's so
right. You're all about the water.
Right.
You're on the paddleboard now.
Yes.
Thank you, Allie. Please, everyone, go check out Allie's stuff. And if you know somebody, maybe you're not an empty nest mom, or maybe you're about to become an empty nest mom. I'm telling you, I'm 4 years out from becoming an empty nest mom, and I'm following her stuff, and I am just like sopping it up with a biscuit.
You're going to be dialed in.
I'm working with you in 4 years.
Perfect. That's perfect. Oh,
thanks, Allie. Such a pleasure, my friend. Bye, everybody.